Call the meeting to order. It was properly posted on June 28th. All three commissioners are present. District 1 will lead us in prayer and pledge.
We had a guest. We had invited a guest to come lead our prayer, and he is not here yet. And maybe he won't make it. So we will stand and observe a moment of silence in place of our prayer, and then I will lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, and now Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes of June 26?
I'll move our minutes.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
There's a request that we hold our claims maybe in recess till later. So skip and go to the bid.
Good morning, Commissioners. We have a few awards for today, so I'll try to make these a little quick. Our first one for item 3 is CW 25025-1 for our highway materials. This is a 6-month bid. We received 23 bids, and it's quite a lengthy proposal. Quite a lengthy recommendation, but out of the 23 bids and final evaluation, we were able to connect with each highway district in review. I'm recommending an award to the low vendor for these specific items. Low vendor for cement slurry, Oklahoma Cement Solutions. Concrete material to DeLisi Brothers. For pipe to Dub Ross. Steel grater blades to Dub Ross and Warren Cat per item that they were low on. Oils to Vance Brothers for bid item 33 and Argon Asphalt for item 34. Cement kiln dust to the low vendor Lytle Sand and Construction for item 30. And Silver Star Construction for item 31. Hauling crushed materials to A&A Trucking. Concrete paving to Atlas Paving. Microsurfacing to Vance Brothers. Seal coating to Tri-City Seal. And finally, I'm recommending an award of the native materials, aggregates, asphalt, sands to all bids that meet specifications, whereas per the statute, each department will be responsible for determining the lowest and best selection based on availability, price, and transportation costs. And so that is the standard recommendation for highway.
Is there a motion?
I'll move that we approve the listed entities to award our highway materials, supplies, and services bid.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carpet and flooring.
Yes, item 4 is CW 25087 for carpet and flooring. We received 2 bids. Based on evaluation, I'm just recommending an award to the low, which is Tatco Flooring, doing business as Flooring Designs.
I'll move approval of Ms. Bosa's recommendation.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Window treatment.
For window treatment, CW 25090, I'm recommending award to the one bid we received, which was also our previous awarded vendor, Bison Blinds.
I'll move approval of Ms. Bosa's recommendation.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The next item is AR 066-2 for emergency management pagers. This is part of our ARPA project for emergency management. We received 1 proposal from Chickasaw Personal Communications. Compared to their bid previously, it was fair pricing within the regulations of the manufacturer, and we are recommending award to Chickasaw.
I'll move approval of Ms. Bosa's recommendation.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And finally, for CW 25004 Senior Center Services, we received 2 proposals from Daily Living Center and Metropolitan Better Living. After evaluation and meeting with the Social Services Department, we are recommending to Daily Living Center as the most qualified proposal to perform all services countywide. And this is managed and facilitated with the Social Services Department because services, in order to avoid a gap in coverage, there's a contract later on the agenda to enter into that agreement, and based upon approval of this recommendation for award.
Are those two typically the ones that bid on this?
This is our first year we've had two proposals.
Okay.
Previously, it's just been the one from Daily Living Center. And it has been a very successful contract.
I'll move approval for Daily Living Center's, Ms. Bosa's recommendation.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any individual consideration on the consent docket?
I'll move our consent docket.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The holiday suggestions for next year, I don't know that I have gotten confirmation whether or not the governor has declared Good Friday or not, because I believe the ruling from the DA was if it has been declared either by the governor or the federal government. So you want to hold this until next week until I have confirmation on
I think that's fine.
that, unless y'all either one happen to know.
No, sir.
Okay, I'll move to defer this to our next meeting.
Okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Assessor Mike.
Good morning, everyone. Items 16 and 17 are contracts to get us through the end of August as we negotiate our contracts for our new copiers. Item 18 is a renewal for our plotter for mapping, and item 19 is a contract renewal for our postage machine.
I'll move approval of items 16 through 19.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
explanation. County Clerk.
Good morning. This is a professional services agreement for the purpose of an organizational assessment of the county clerk's office, primarily systems that we have in utilization of those. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
And because this is a professional service, we don't have to go out for bid.
This is actually procured through the state's office has a contract for this type of assessment. And we went through sort of like an interview process for selection, and that came to this contract.
Okay. And I understand this is being paid for out of her special funds?
Mhm.
Okay, not
Yes,
general
ma'am.
fund?
Correct.
Okay. Those are my only questions.
Is there a motion?
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Court Clerk.
Number 12, discussion and possible action regarding resolution 24 to appoint Sabrina Hayworth as our requisition officer and Kendall Babb as the backup for donations for the court areas. We're receiving some grant money. And number 13 is the same thing, except in this case, it's Linda Hollingsworth as receiving officer and Desmond Renault as the backup for
I'm
donations.
sorry, your items are 21 and 22.
Oh, okay, I'm looking at the wrong one.
Yeah, this is for Integrated Management Solutions contract.
It's just a renewal.
And then you have one for Stanley Systems for a printer lease,
Right. Once again, these are just renewals. It's just standard.
but it says requested by. Those are court
Those
services.
are not mine. Those are court services.
Yeah,
Mine
well,
are the
it
ones
does-
that I was talking, 12 and 13, that I requested. And these are just simply naming people as our receiving officers for
Oh.
some donations.
I think
Okay.
we approved those in our consent docket.
That's what I
so
thought. That's
you're
the reason I
okay.
didn't know why you were calling me up here.
I
You're good.
apologize.
It's all right, guys. I enjoy seeing you guys.
Thank you, Mr. Warren.
Okay. 21 and 22, is there a motion?
I'll move approval on 21 and 22.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
This is consulting services agreement for litigation.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Emergency management. This is just those fire equipment agreements, Hickory Hills, Edmond. Is there a motion?
I'll move approval on 24 and 25.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And Eric.
This is just to return a road bond to a developer. The subdivision is called Tuscan Estates 2. There was an issue, a minor issue with the road that they repaired with oversight with District 3. So I do appreciate that before it was returned, but everybody's happy with the repairs, and so we're just returning that bond to them at this time.
Motion
to approve.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The policy and governance. This is to the courtroom lobby at JJC. A change order. Any questions?
No, I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The transfer of our, what we have called court services, but this is going to be the aspect of it that is the pretrial. And policy and governance discussed this. If your designees briefed you on it, you kind of know there was a lengthy discussion, and this was the decision was to recommend to go to the jail trust as opposed to the district attorney's office. Is there any further discussion? Because of course it's this body's ultimate decision.
And it's my understanding that to keep them with the jail trust would allow those employees to keep their county benefits, their, county retirement. We wouldn't have to pay them out yet. They would remain county employees.
I do believe that's
Okay.
correct, yes.
And we believe the jail trust wants them from
That's also correct.
Ms. Garner's.
Yeah.
We did discuss it in a discussion with myself and Joe Alba and Brandy Gardner, and thought it would be great if we could get these individuals CLEAT certified to actually speed up the process of the interviews and getting the pretrial release moving quicker. So instead of them having to wait for somebody to pull, they can actually go pull themselves. So it'll help those individuals get out and get back to work quicker.
Yeah, I agree. I think ultimately it will be the best for the detainees and the best for the folks getting into the court services program. It will speed it up. I appreciate the policy and governance committee for spending a very long time on this, trying to work out the details and ask all the right questions. So I really appreciate you all. And I appreciate Chris and Jamie for being here from TEEM. Is Karen Kent here?
She is.
Yeah,
and Brad
okay.
both.
Okay, and Brad. Assuming we approve this today, I just want to make sure that you two are going to communicate with those employees, those remaining employees, that they will, in the coming days, be officially transferred over to the jail trust. They'll, have a different supervisor, have a different office space. So I just want to make sure that that's communicated clearly to those employees.
I think they've watched the meetings a little bit, so I think they have an idea of it. We just don't know a date. So that's kind of what they're waiting on as well, so we can communicate that to them and get it firmly.
Okay. It's my understanding if we approve this today, it can start the move can start happening as soon as today.
Okay. The last I knew, Miss Bahena and Brandy were going to discuss a date for that to possibly happen, but I haven't heard anything on that yet.
Okay.
I'm good with it.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
Being inside the jail and helping individuals move through that process.
Do we need to name the 4 employees that are being transferred or their positions?
Is that a DA question?
Let me just say, on my list, it's an intake counselor 2, case manager /OR, case manager /GPS, and case manager /OR. Those 4 positions.
That's correct.
Okay.
And those 4 folks, I think all of us are very grateful to them for continuing to work this program while it's very much in flux. And hopefully we will get them moved and situated and in their new office space. And but I just wanted to, I appreciate those 4 for really sticking around. Did you have anything else, Jessica?
Be remiss if we didn't also thank Ms. Bahena and the DA's office for all their
Yes.
hard work, because she was very involved in this transition and communicating with the employees. And so want to thank her and then also all of the court services employees for their patience, because I know this has been a trying time and wanting to hear answers. And so just thank everyone for their patience.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a motion for transferring those 4 positions?
I will move that we transfer those 4 listed positions over to work for the Oklahoma County Jail Trust.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you to the Jail Trust too for their
Yes.
cooperation on that. Now, the next item is the contract with TEEM.
Okay, we have 2 contracts to discuss. Number 29 is the contract with TEAM in regards to the services provided for Shine. They will be taking over the supervision of our community service. And in policy and governance, we discussed these 2 contracts in length. Thank you, Commissioner Bloomer, for your appreciation for that policy and governance meeting, but really just didn't have enough time to hash out all of the details. And so we really have a lot of questions for the commissioners in regards to how you want to assume some liability in regards to the equipment and the vehicles. Also in regards to the contracts. Currently, we do not have contracts with the city, the zoo, Dell City in place because we've been waiting to see if TEAM's going to be handling the contract piece or if we're going to be handling the contract piece. There's pros and cons to both, and so that's something we need to discuss today. And I want to invite Chris or Jamie to come up with me. We sent these over to them. They had very little time in order to review on Wednesday, and so they have a lot of questions and had sent over a redlined agreement that we just didn't have a chance to get approved by the district attorney. And so really, I'm going to turn it over to Chris to talk about some of the questions that they have. And Jamie.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, could we approach the dais to give you a hard copy of the revised? Yeah.
These are the revisions that TEAM is requesting that we make.
Based on our meeting on Friday.
Okay.
or Wednesday, I guess it was. And then also we still have some additional questions to ask you all for some direction.
Why don't we first move to accept this?
Okay, I'll move to receive this suggested contract.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
No. Do you have one for her? If not, she can have mine. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, go, sir.
First of all, I just want the commissioners to know, the county to know that in the process of preparing for this transition, we have been shadowing the Shine program. I personally had the privilege, the honor of going out on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Blown away. Like, I am blown away and so excited about not only where the program is, but the potential behind the program. Just absolutely incredible. We could not be more grateful for the opportunity to work with the individuals that participate in Shine and with the entities that Shine contracts with to improve conditions, quality of life, aesthetics within our community. It's just fantastic. So I would just say, first of all, I'm going to, full disclosure, I'm going to give the big picture, and then I'm going to turn it over to the brains behind our operation, Ms. Jamie Patterson, to answer any of the technical questions. But the first suggested change based on the meeting last Wednesday with the Policy and Procedures Committee, Governance Committee, was that the only thing that would be paid for out of the Shine contracts would be the salaries for the Shine crew chiefs, the individuals who are going out every day and leading the actual work of the committees. So as such, we have suggested that we remove the language in the Shine contracts that pertains to the staff, the intake specialist, and what have you for community service, and put those services in the pretrial release contract. So that's the big change in the contract.
Add a little bit of
context to that, historically, the general fund has paid for the salaries of the court services pretrial release people, as well as the community service supervisor and intake staffs. The only thing that was paid out of the Shine Fund has been the crew chiefs. So potentially to keep it a little cleaner, the Shine contract would just have the crew chiefs coming out of that, and then we could move the community service staff on the pretrial contract, or keep them all on the same contract and just understand that those funds come from two different county funds.
The second change, really simple, is just to make sure that we're clarifying the various kinds of projects that Shine is responsible for. So we went ahead and added into, in addition to the trash and graffiti removal, also the maintenance of the community gardens, just so that that's clearly spelled out. And then I think those are the major changes. It's just to clarify the two funds and what will be paid out of each of the two funds.
And for clarification, the position that you're talking about paid out of the court services fund, they do other things besides Shine, and that was a position that existed before Shine. That's just sometimes court orders say they are not sentenced to Shine, and they have to figure out where else they're placed.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
They may not be physically able, or there may be a
Correct.
reason that they need to go somewhere else to do their community service.
And so the portions in here that you've proposed to strike, related to notifying the judge, the district attorney, when an individual has completed the assigned community service hours, you're basically just striking that from this contract and requesting that it be moved to the
Other contract.
other contract. Okay. That makes sense.
There is one, section 3, A and B. I spoke with Ms. Behenna about those things, and just discussed that it's really not the role of the community service agency to do violations of probation. That's the probation officer role, and she agreed and said to take that out. A lot of what's kind of listed in there is really the role of the probation officer, who sits down and goes over the court order and says you have to do community service and here's where you need to go and all of that. We would maintain the current system that they are using, which is when the end date for that court order occurs, a notice of termination summary is filed with the clerk's office, and that summary shows they did or did not complete their hours. So that information is still being relayed, but a lot of those court orders don't have a start date on it. Some do, some don't. They just have an end date typically.
Okay.
So those are the proposed changes, the big changes, just to clear up where the actual funding for these positions are coming from and what account, to keep it cleaner, and the additional clarification. I would just also say the other issues, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, that we would need to decide today is what the arrangement is going to be for use of the equipment. The vans, the trailers, the lawn equipment, all the things. I will tell you that when I say I'm impressed, I'm very impressed. We literally have waste management dumpster is full, District 2 dumpster is full, trailer is full, at capacity. And what I've been told is that we can't use anything else until the decision has been made. Per our meeting last Wednesday, I went out early this morning and talked to the individuals who showed up for Shine today and explained to them. I took their names down and will communicate directly with their judge today that they did show up, but they were not allowed to go out today pending the outcome of this meeting. But I'm really hoping that we can get some resolution on that so that we can be going tomorrow. We're ready to go. The Shine crew that is still employed are at TEEM at 8 o'clock this morning, going through all the orientation, and we're just waiting for the green light to know what that arrangement's going to be. In addition to that, I would say that we would ask for permission. We talked about this in our meeting as well, so that TEEM could still have access to the MIS system that the county has for community service, so that we can make sure not lose anybody as we transition away from that system to our own system. There's going to be a period of time And we're building our own system now, but we're probably 90 days away from having it up and operated. And then the final thing I would say is the transference of the Shine cell phone that the crew, the actual staff have. That number for that cell phone is on just about every information pertaining to Shine right now. And until we can, transition away from all those pre-printed documents that's still floating around and update those phone numbers, we just want to create as much continuity and minimize as much disruption as possible. Those are the items.
And we may just want to transfer the number to you, the ownership of that account, because a fair number of people in the community have that number to call for graffiti
Yes, sir.
complaints and whatever. It's been an established number for quite some time. I'll explore that and see what that entails. But I have no problem with them having the phone in the meantime. Do you guys?
No.
Okay.
So I just want to clarify, the contract that's attached, obviously is different from the contract that you just handed us and went over. Do we need to call, maybe this is a DA's question, do we need to call a special BOCC to rectify these two contracts? Or are we allowed to approve what TEEM just handed us?
Madam DA.
And I think Cody had said, where'd you go, Cody? That P&G was prepared to call another meeting if you needed to, but we may just need to call another BOCC.
It's really, the answer to that question depends on how you want to proceed. If you want to adopt the contract that TEEM has proposed as it is, then you certainly can do that without need of a special meeting or further discussion of it. If there's going to be different changes made to it, though, you could decide what those changes are, or have it kick back down to policy and governance, and then a follow-up BOCC meeting to approve the final draft.
Okay.
It sort of depends on what it is you would like
We
to
wanna
do.
Okay.
Well, I think the stuff is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
I don't. You
I
comfortable
think
with
it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for the sake of getting Shine back and operating.
Yeah.
My suggestion was just going to be that if there are some tweaks that we want to make or wholesale, just to make sure everything is good, you guys are going to have to recess this meeting anyway until this afternoon to be able to go over the blankets. We could try to get those changes buttoned up in here in the interim and approve the
Okay.
final contract
Is
this
there something
afternoon.
that you're concerned with, though?
No, I'm just offering that if there's something that you guys are concerned with and you want, then we could look at it this afternoon. But the intent was policy and governance to come back next week, have a special meeting and discuss some of these changes and get them incorporated. We wanted to at least get a contract in place this morning so they can start, whether that's what they provided you guys or whether it's the draft document that the DA's office did with a few modifications to it. However you want to do it, we wanted to give you guys the option to have something to start with this morning. And if you want us to vet more of it, we can always come back next week with some more suggestions, or you can just adopt what they provided this morning.
I'm comfortable with what they've presented.
I am too.
I think it's fairly self-explanatory, and I know from the context as the history of it, and I'm sure both of you do as well.
I believe that, I told Cody not to move. I believe that one of the things we do need to discuss is who's going to be the one responsible for the contracts. Is it the county responsible for the contracts with the municipalities and future growth? So that way they would basically bill us and receive the funding, or would they handle the contract so that way they could be funded directly? We just want it to be a really smooth process for them.
The city's contracting with the Shine program so that Shine has work to perform.
Right.
Okay.
Well, whether we're going to keep the contracts with the county or if we're going to allow TEEM to contract directly with those municipalities. That was one of the things that we really didn't decide in policy and governance due to time, and then it's really at the will of the commissioners to see which you prefer.
And nothing about that is included in
Nothing.
either contract.
That's on that would be why I
Either
have
proposed
a
contract.
recommendation of us reviewing it and then putting it before the DA to make sure that everything is correct, and then adopting a final at the next BOCC meeting.
Yeah, so we need to answer the equipment, we need to answer who's doing the contracts, and then gonna have some sort of addendum for access to MIS so that they don't lose all the active participants and those that are actually in the program currently.
And do we need to also mention the phone
I do,
in the contract?
I do think that beginning today, you guys will need access to the equipment, and I consider the phone as part of the equipment. I think, and that's some of the language I was talking about. We could always come back this afternoon, or we can just add it right now by you guys making it a part of your approval. But we could put authorization in here that the county shall transfer physical possession of Shine equipment to TEEM while maintaining the ownership of said equipment. The equipment that is transferred, the maintenance, operation, any insurance that's related to that shall either be paid by TEEM through their reimbursement from the Shine Fund, or if the county is providing that maintenance and doing it, then we would just do a bill against that same Shine account.
Okay.
So, I mean, we could get that language in there, and I think that would help you guys. And I do agree with Commissioner Mon. I talked to Jamie on Friday. I think having them add a phone to their account and us transferring the number makes the most sense in the world. That way they can have it on their plan. They've got the number is with them. They don't have to worry about us making that payment monthly or whatever. They may be able to get a better deal with multiple phones on that plan. I'm sure this plan is probably part of the court services plan, and that's, there's not going to be a budget there anymore for that. So I think that would probably be the best for that, for the phone piece.
So given that we're going to recess until this afternoon, could we use the contract that you all proposed and add in language for equipment and contracts with cities? Would that get us where we need to be? Okay.
If you could just clarify whether you want us to hold the contracts or TEEM to hold the contracts.
Oh, okay. Do you have a preference on that, Chris? Just on it, just hearing it, it sounds like TEEM needs to be the one that contracts with those cities.
We did talk through all of this. I will tell you where I'm at right now, just gut, but I'm also open to whatever makes the most sense. I think in time, it would make all the sense in the world for TEEM to negotiate directly for those contracts, but for this next year, it may make more sense for the county to do the contracts only because of the disruption. We've not done those contracts before. The cities, the zoo, the different entities aren't accustomed to working with us. I don't know what kind of delay it may cause if we tried to negotiate those contracts, but if the county were willing to renegotiate or sign for those contracts for maybe a 6-month period or maybe a 12-month period with the caveat that we would work to take those over, I think the familiarity with the various entities in the process would, again, all I'm thinking about is minimizing disruption.
And I will add that I have, and Brittany Mertens has been working with Jamie with the city in regards to the contract, and then I have prepared all the other contracts to go before the DA, and I can send those today. Those were ready and prepared and ready to go. We've communicated with everyone. I just wanted to hear from you in regards to how you all wanted to handle it.
And those are for one full full fiscal year.
Full fiscal year.
Okay.
Which has the options, of course, to break if we wanted to change midstream.
Okay. That makes sense to me. Yeah. That I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, what's the board's pleasure?
I think maybe we can make some changes and come back. What time are we? We haven't decided what time we're recessing to.
It's usually afternoon.
Yeah,
like
2.
o'clock.
Are one of you able to kind of stay on deck to work with one of our offices to make sure that these changes get added so that we can approve a contract today. Okay.
You want to just do it with Jessica? Is that okay with y'all, since we already have them
That's fine.
pretty much drafted with
Okay.
consistent chats with Ms. Bahana?
Yeah. And so just for clarification, we will go off of the contract that you all, that team to propose to us today. Okay.
Is that clear, Jessica?
Yes.
You got,
Okay.
Got
okay. Glad you do.
Okay, is there a motion to that effect?
I move that we direct the District 2 Chief Deputy to work with team this afternoon before we reconvene to add necessary additions to the contract so that we can get a contract with team approved today.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you both for your cooperation. Then item 30, is there potential adjustments to that one as well?
Yes, sir, but it's just basically in reverse. So we're
Taking the
just,
stuff that we just talked about.
all of the community sentencing, billing and positions. Oh, I'm sorry. In this contract is really, all it is making sure that all of those services and positions and reporting requirements, accountability measures are properly accounted for, and making sure that those positions will be funded out of the pretrial services fund. And then the only other change there, it's all in red, would be the cleanup language on page 5. It just talks about, instead of saying ownership and controls interest in, there was a question about if a person has been convicted of a felony in the past, could they work in this program? And for some legal reasons, the answer is there are certain financial positions that may exclude from like federal law, state law, a person in that situation from working in that specific area, but not in like community sentencing or service or what have you. So this was just clarifying language that says when the exclusion for a person would only pertain to those responsibilities that have to do with billing and financials.
Okay. And just for clarification, the court service or the I keep calling it court services.
Pretrial
Thank
release.
you. The pretrial release program, there is no, other than computer, there is no equipment like the way Shine has. So that does not need to be included in here, right?
We found some stack of notebooks and pens and pencils, but I
Okay.
think we decided to maybe gift that to or a decision was made to gift that to the juvenile,
Okay.
to keep it within the county government.
Okay,
I'll move to receive this proposed contract.
Second.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And similarly, do you want to have this revised and sent back to us at 2 p.m.?
I'll move that we direct Jessica Clayton to work with team to make the necessary revisions based on this proposed contract, and we'll consider it again this afternoon.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Sheriff?
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Jamie and Chris.
Good morning. The first 5, 31 through 35 are all long-term contract renewals. The first one is our copiers, and everything else is a tech-related item just for connection to different databases. And 36th is, well, if we can take the first 5, 36 maybe require a little additional discussion.
I'll move approval of items 31 through 35.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Last week was the National Sheriff's Association Conference, and part of that's a big vendor show. One of the vendors came to us at the end and said it's their common practice just to donate a couple of their visual items, their 2 office chairs. So we're just requesting permission to accept that donation. 2 office chairs.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your patience. Social services. Christie's got an explanation.
Good morning. We have the next two items. This one is with Daily Living Centers. This is related to the bid award that was done earlier in the meeting. However, while we did send the agreement to the DA's office for approval, they have got so many contracts right now that they have not gotten to this one yet. What I wanted to request is if we could have BOCC approval pending DA approval, if that would be acceptable.
I'll move we approve item 37 pending approval from the district attorney's office.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Same with 38.
Same with 38.
That's respite care services.
Yes.
And this is still, correct me if I'm wrong, 7 beds?
Yes.
Okay.
And by you allowing us to do it this way, it prevents us from having a break in services for the people who are in the program. So
Good.
we very much appreciate it.
I'll move approval of item 38 pending approval from the DA's office.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christy.
Commissioner comments, District 1, 3.
Have a happy 4th of July.
Yeah.
Come back with all 10 fingers. And don't forget what we're celebrating.
This can be reiterated at 2, but I just want to say thanks to TEAM. I'm thrilled and excited about the prospect and what this promises for all the programs that you're taking and your patience as we've gone through this. You know, anything like this just has unanticipated issues that you never foresee. And Jamie in particular has been very great to work with. Jessica, and Jessica's been great on our side, and also Brandy Mertens, who's been doing a lot of the numbers stuff just from my team, and then Cody particularly has helped us with a lot of legal questions just as we're trying to give the best softball we can to the DA. I also appreciate you taking the time to not only shadow court services, but particularly give up your weekend to go, because I believe seeing is believing, and I think you experienced that and understanding the full aspect of what they do. Any new business? If not, we have a citizen, Christopher Johnson.
Good morning, everyone. So, I mean, you guys probably guess why I'm here. 25th, we failed our 8th inspection in a row. We didn't even have enough people to run it, to keep the state investigators safe. They always do unannounced visits, and I don't know why our district attorney's office said that the state's not playing nice on that. That just doesn't make any sense. Because how can you make sure somebody's doing something good in a carceral facility unless you come in like business as usual? You don't give them time to prepare to make everything look good and smell good, right? So I don't buy that. That doesn't sound right. And this is also going to tie in real quick the whole Baby Shark case. I mean, this is just indicative of what was happening there, right? You look at every single inspection that's happened. It has very little to do with the building. I'm not saying it's an architectural masterpiece, but when you look at its site checks, cleanliness, the building doesn't clean itself, not letting people in, that's management issues, right? And so, again, I for instance, nonprofits coming in and having to give gift bags of soap because folks aren't getting soap. We have millions of dollars pumped into that facility, and they can't even get soap at a consistent level. Feminine hygiene products and everything like that. I mean, that to me they shouldn't be providing what should be getting provided already. We pay a shit ton of money as taxpayers for it to get done. These nonprofits, love them, they're doing a good job. I'm just saying they shouldn't be doing that, okay? To me, and to people who are objective, our team of lawyers that advise us, there's literally not much measurable outcomes of this jail trust doing well. Population dropping down has absolutely nothing to do with the management of the jail. That has everything to do with state questions about decriminalizing medical marijuana, some other state questions that happen, and also the changing of law enforcement practices. You bringing people in at a law enforcement entity is not the jail trust going out and arresting people. They just have to house them. I'm sorry, the jail. So we don't have to like each other. The feeling is mutual. But guys, what are you guys gonna do? I mean, this is, come on, man. We're banging our head against the wall here, and we're not seeing anything get done as a community. You know, whenever there is some decent good, I hear we thank county partners, but we also don't thank the victims, families, and survivors that come here and for years have been expressing outrage and have seen little to no results. That's erasure of them. But most importantly, what are we going to do about this? This is 8 in a row. And if we look at the math, we'll fail a 9th one. We'll more than likely fail a 10th one, so on and so forth. So what are you guys going to do? You guys have the power. You control the money. Literally, you guys give them their money. You can do something about this. Stop with the buck. Stop saying that there's nothing we can do. Our hands are tied. You guys can do something. So whoever wants to answer that, I know, Brian, you've been really straight and up for it and have enough guts to talk to me. Talk to the public about this. What are we going to do? Because we're not seeing enough to say that we need to keep this jail trust in power. I think that the experiment's failed. So I don't know. Just, we've got to do something about this because you guys are giving the feds who are investigating you all of the ammunition to take over. And we should be able to take care of this problem ourselves.
Okay, any other citizens to speak? Is there a motion to recess into executive session?
I'll move we recess.
Oh, wait a minute. Can you withdraw that for a second? Will you?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
withdraw my motion.
There is no need to hold the claims any further, so they'd ask if we could go ahead and do that.
Okay.
That's good. Motion to approve claims.
Second?
Good, right? Okay.
Okay.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you now if you want to reissue your motion.
I'll move we enter into executive session.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I am.
Motion to return from executive session.
Also, second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 41,
I think it's item
40. Yeah, it's item 40.
item 40. On item 40, I move that we,
no, that's the executive session. This is the return.
Why isn't there a,
but
there's not a, no, item 39 is to go in to executive session to discuss. Item 40 is the action regarding confidential communications. Yeah, that's the confusing part. It's got multiple executive sessions listed. Yeah. Yep.
oh, okay. Because we're going to come back later and approve blankets. Okay. Okay. Okay, so am I taking action on item 40? Okay. Item 40, I move that we approve hiring Dr. Ashley Christensen as a expert in said case on behalf of the detention officers being represented in this case.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oh, yeah.
Should we adjourn at 2 or recess it till 2?
Well, that's the question. What does the county clerk's office need? Till 2, 3, 1?
Okay.
And or 2 would be fine as well. It's really your decision what time works with your schedule.
Let's just do 2 since he's coming back at 2.
Okay. I'll move that we recess BOCC until 2 p.m. today.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Who's coming back?
Chris? Since we'd already told him that.
Yeah. I completely forgot about that part.
He's sitting in, Jerry?
I think we just have well, do we have PBA? Okay.
All right. Yeah, they can go ahead and take their seats. We'll knock this out.
Yeah.
You ready?
Ready.
Are you in?
Oh. Okay.
Okay, I'll call the PBA together. All 3 trustees are present, and notice of this meeting was properly posted on June 28th, rather. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of June 26th?
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is there a motion to approve the claims?
I'll move our claims.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Good to see Mr. Monroe back.
Item 3 are departmental carryovers for the PBA in total, summing up $12,727,617.55. If you want an explanation on each item, I can give that to you. It funds in part the necessary M&O for PBA properties, each PBA property through the first quarter of this fiscal year.
Okay.
I'll move that we approve the carryover amounts listed in the agenda item.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 4 is to appropriate $1,546,644.89 to complete funding of M&O for the first quarter of this fiscal year.
I'll move approval of item 4.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
After which that leaves a balance in the PBA reserve of $2.167542 million and 28 cents.
And under new business, can you apprise us of the parking garage situation?
Yes, it's not working. We had a server. I just found out about this morning. So it's my understanding that we've had a server crash, and you've had a conversation with Chris Ponder and management in Metro Parking to allow a free parking pass in Metro 1 and 2 until we can get Weatherby Electric back out here to restore service.
So
I'm not sure when that will be or what that will cost.
I consulted Miss Etherington yesterday to be sure we were legally good to do that until we have the consultant contractors come in and help figure out the issue.
Thank you.
So is it an IT server issue or an
Yes.
electricity issue?
No, an IT server issue.
And you're bringing in someone.
Our contract provider, Weatherby Electric, who is the representative for Ski Data,
Okay.
will make the repairs for us. I don't have an estimate or an idea what that will cost at this time, but I'm sure they're anxious to tell us.
And we already have them on
They're on notice.
notice. Okay.
Also, another new item, you should have seen on the PBA agenda today a contract between the PBA Lincoln, or PBA property, Lincoln, and TEEM for the location of the vans and trucks and trailers that they keep behind the fence in that location. If you would go ahead and just verbally give an okay that we can do that until we have a contract in place. I spoke with Chris Steele and Jamie Patterson, and we'll have a contract before the PBA just as quick as we can.
It won't be this afternoon. It'll be next week, but it's still at this point county equipment, and so I think it's fine that it stays on county property.
I think it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Keith.
Thank you.
All right, going back, is there any citizen participation or board comments? Other new business? If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll move we adjourn the PBA.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Ooh, thank you.
Agenda old school.
Okay.
Sweet recess.
Thank you. Tell me when you're ready. Okay, I'll call together the budget board. Notice that this meeting was properly posted on June 28th. We'll start with the sheriff for roll call.
Tommy Johnson, third present.
Rick Warren.
Carrie Hudson for Mercer Treat.
Carrie Bloomert.
Brian Mon.
Gary Stone for Butch Freeman.
Miles Davidson.
Mike Morrison for County Assessor Larry Stein.
Jerry, do you want to lead us in the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of June 24th?
Motion to approve.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any individual consideration on the consent docket?
Number 25 is the one single handout for ARPA. There was an amount change after the agenda.
Do we know what it is to say?
Yes, it's the $75,545,287.90.
Which number is this?
25.
Okay.
Motion to approve with said change.
Do we need to move? Do we need to Move to receive this document.
Can.
Okay, I'll move to receive the updated ARPA carryover amount.
I'm sorry, we currently have a motion on the
You
floor.
got a motion.
Oh,
and a second
sorry.
on the floor. We
Yeah.
can receive this after.
Okay.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Now you want to accept it.
I'll move to receive this ARPA carryover amount document.
Second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. All right, our monthly financial report.
We're gonna strike that. That'll be on the regular budget board.
Okay, is there a
Yeah.
motion to strike? Is that your motion, Carrie?
Yes.
Okay,
Second.
all right, all in favor, say aye. And
Same
watch
thing.
list, same thing.
Motion to strike.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'm assuming the same thing with
Yes,
Mr. Wilkerson's report.
Motion to strike 46 as well.
Did you get Commissioner Davidson second? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then, do you have anything to say about this?
No, this would,
assessor?
well, actually, oh, sorry.
You're okay.
This is something that the assessor and I have talked about, and Mr. Warren as well, about having the jail administrator come and kind of give us a briefing to every budget board, just to let us know, or the budget board know as a whole, of everything that's going on financially and everything else. So it is the assessor's item, but I just wanted to give a brief description.
Okay.
So strike it if you want to.
Was this something that we would prefer to occur at the regular meetings, and is that what we would prefer, like with the others?
I mean, I think it'd be great.
I think it'd be just another way for us all to be in the same room together, have that same communication. We can look at the things that are concerns and also rejoice in the things that have been great accomplishments. So
I wholeheartedly agree. There are a bunch of accomplishments. The more that you can, as individuals, trumpet them to your followers and let people know, the better. So I think this is a great idea by the assessor, and if you want to make a motion to make it a regular deal, I'd be happy to second it.
yeah, I would. I'd like to make that a motion that they have someone appear before the budget board for each of those instances, so that we can have these meetings and open discussions.
Second.
Commissioner Davidson, are you going to communicate that to?
We already have.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yes,
all in
ma'am.
favor, say aye.
Aye.
And thank you
Yes.
for doing that for us. Thank you.
This is to receive the clerk's response letter to the state auditor.
I move to strike. We're gonna put this on tomorrow's special.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We have an interfund transfer on item 49 from general fund to employee benefits.
I move to strike. This won't be necessary since we're gonna load employer premiums all at one time now.
Is that true for any of these others too, or just that one?
I think just that one. The other
Number,
salaries.
yeah, number 50, we're gonna strike and move to tomorrow.
Okay, so you want to do 49 and 50?
Yes.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
51 is transfer for drug court, and 52 is for excise board. 53 is emergency management. 54 social services. 55 juvenile bureau. 56 is ARPA capital, and 57 is ARPA fund.
And Cody, can you clarify that this is making sure that folks have enough funds to pay for their
That's my understanding
payroll?
is it was for the 10-day provision of
Okay.
June 21st through June 30th. It gets paid on the July. I think there were some errors on calculating and accommodating for that.
Okay. So this is to make sure folks get paid. Yes. I will move approval of items 51 through 55, I think are all similar items.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
56 and 57. They're also transfers.
Right,
They're just ARPA.
transfers. Right. Okay. I'll move approval of items 56 and 57.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any citizens to speak before the budget board? Board comment, Sheriff?
No comment.
No comment.
No comment.
I just want to say thank you to all the county staff that are outside working in the heat. We have 40 or so of our staff that go every day, and I just want them to be careful, take precautions, and work in the heat, and that we appreciate their service.
Very good. Any new business? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.